everybody. Welcome to TMZ Live. I'm Harvey Levin.
And I'm Charles. Thanks for listening on Sirius XM, Stars 107, and watching here on TMZ.com.
So, look, we want to talk about Casey Anthony at the top, at the very least, because this has now kind of taken on a new life. And I am going to give some opinions off the top. I think Nancy Grace is an idiot. And I think it's a disgrace what she's done. And, you know, I've seen her do this before and really haven't said anything. But this one particularly bugs me. And it bugs me because what she's doing is, if she doesn't know better, then somebody should just pull her law license, because it's insanity. But she has gone on such a tirade as if she knows not only truth, but justice, and that anybody who dares cross Nancy Grace with where a jury would actually have the audacity to deliberate for 11 hours and then disagree with her, that somehow it has then become a travesty of justice and the devil is dancing as a result. Absurd. This is a jury that did not find that Casey Anthony is innocent. They found that there was a reasonable doubt about her guilt. And when you have a reasonable doubt, you have to say not guilty. That's the way the system is built. You may think she's guilty. I think she probably did it. I got to tell you, I think she probably did it. And if I had to bet, I would bet that she did it. But a juror has to say, beyond any reasonable doubt, I believe that she did it. And if you have that doubt, you have to say not guilty. Not guilty does not mean innocent. It's the way the system works.
It's a strong closing argument you just made there.
Well, but
it's true. You're right. That is the system.
They did not establish
a motive.
A motive sufficient for the jury. They did not have a time of death. They did not have a cause of death. Now, you don't necessarily need every one of those components, but if that perplexes a jury enough to create reasonable doubt, the jury must they don't have an option. They must find the defendant not guilty, even if they believe the defendant is guilty. That's just the way the system works.
Right, and if anything, don't blame the system. Blame the prosecution for not presenting those things if they have it. So listen, if they don't have it, then they don't have the case.
So listen to this lunatic last night. Just listen to what Nancy Grace said.
Now, is it wrong for us as citizens to look at our jury system, to look at cases, to discuss them in depth, to be passionate, to care? The day that it is unethical to care about the murder of a 2-year-old little girl who ends up duct taped and thrown into a swamp is the day that I, too, will retire and rue the justice system. Well, I've got to tell you, Terry, I felt sick, and I still feel sick, because I know, I don't believe it, I know it is a miscarriage of justice. I love our system, Terry. I believe in our system. So when our system fails, as a victims' rights advocate and a crime victim myself, I take it very personally. Well, I do know this. I watched the jurors. They very rarely took notes. They took notes for neither side at all. In fact, one juror was often observed twirling her pen around in front of her, around and around and around and around. That's a problem, okay? I don't believe that anything that I have said has been an inaccurate rendition of the facts.
So doodling is, I must be the blithering idiot too, because I doodle as well. I actually do the same thing. So when you doodle, you're a moron, according to Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace not only thinks, she knows it's a miscarriage of justice. She knows Casey Anthony did it. She knows better than the jury. She knows better than everybody. She just knows.
Why do we even need juries anymore? Let's just have Nancy just decide every crime.
Nancy Grace.
In case Nancy can just sit in there and she'll be judge and jury.
She is just whipping up a lynch mob. She is whipping up a lynch mob, and that's the way. She's a disgrace. She is just an absolute frickin' disgrace to the legal system. I got to tell you something. The lawyers I know they laugh at her. They just think she's an idiot. And I'm sorry for going on this kind of rant right now, but I'm serious. I have not heard I can't count on two hands, and I think even one, lawyers who think that this woman knows what the hell she's talking
do they think
about.
that is it just bad theater? Because that's what I don't take anything she says seriously anymore.
Well,
I think that she's just putting on a show because she thinks this is the kind of overdramatic comments that the networks need, that the networks want, and I laugh at it, and I go, and it's sad because it actually is a tragedy. What happened to this little girl. And instead, I'm laughing at the things that this woman is saying. I was watching her on Nightline last night, and I was like, she's kidding me? There were times when Terry Moran, they cut back to him, and he was kind of grinning and trying to hold it back, as if his face looked like, did she really just say that?
Yeah, but let's just be honest here. ABC booked her, right? They booked her, so they could talk about the Casey Anthony case in any fashion they wanted, and they decided to book Nancy Grace. So they're going for theater, too. CNN, I mean, please. I mean, listen, they call it headline news so that they can distance themselves, but it's all the same thing. I mean, they don't have opinions about things. Are you kidding me? And it's fine to have an opinion. Look, I'm telling you right now, I believe she probably did it. But, my God, to say, I know. How the hell do you know, Nancy Grace? If you know, call us right now and tell us what time she died, tell us how she died, and tell us exactly what the motive was. Give us, Nancy, just give us a call at 855-TMZ Live. We're waiting to hear from you. Tell us how you know. Okay,
Boy,
Nancy, by the way.
This will be a great phone call.
Nancy
this will be a great call.
Nancy was busy because she's booked on all these shows, so she couldn't do this. So
she's in the middle of theater, right? She's in Act 2 right now.
We asked to have her on, but, whatever. So, look, I just think this is an absolute travesty. Not the verdict, but people like Nancy Grace and these screaming moronic lawyers who are on these shows who just have no sense of what the justice system is about. That's my spiel. Now, we got Joan Rivers last night. And Joan actually had some opinions about it, which actually only Joan can somehow turn something funny. But, Joan, you're on TMZ Live.
First of all, you're totally wrong. Nancy Grace is totally right. She's not one of these great lawyers that we've had in the past, like Johnny Cochran. If the gloves don't fit, you gotta quit. You've had these lawyers all the time. I am so angry about this case. God bless Nancy Grace.
Why are you angry? Why are you angry, John?
She's a murderess. She is OJ with a uterus.
How do you know she's a murderer?
How do I? Well, no, because you're not a mother. You don't wait 31 days before you say, gee, my little girl is gone. I find this outrageous. I find the jury was a bunch of morons. It was a circus. They came, they returned their verdict after emerging from a clown car.
So you bought Nancy Grace's Kool-Aid, Joan.
I didn't buy Nancy Grace's Kool-Aid. I sat and watched. I'm sick of circumstantial evidence. It is circumstantial evidence. This woman obviously did it. Who are we kidding? And how dare you? Meaning a jury of 12 morons. 12 morons come back and say this woman is innocent.
Hey, Joan. How'd the little girl die?
How the little girl died? I'll tell you how the little girl died. I think that the mother, the wonderful, warm mother, used to chloroform her so she could go out and go dancing, and she probably, by mistake, did too much chloroform.
And you know what, Joan? Joan, let me just. I've got to say this.
Are you telling me you don't think she did it?
I think she. No, Joan. No, I'm not. I'm saying I do think she did it. But you used a really important word, Joan. You said the word probably, and in a criminal case, Joan, the word probably doesn't cut it. The word probably.
Hey, probably
no.
Kill those two people, but the glove didn't fit because it was shrunken.
No.
At one point, you've got to use your brain.
No, Joan.
At one point, you've got to use your common sense. Or the jury system is broken, and you guys know it, and I know it. Because only morons end up on juries, because smart people, and we all know who they are, always manage to get out of it, because anyone with a job and anyone with responsibility doesn't have the time to sit for no money for 6 months.
Well, wait a minute. So what you're saying, Joan, is you're bitching, Joan. You're bitching about the jury system,
yes.
And then all your fancy friends and yourself. Have you ever served on a jury, Joan?
I have gone in and I have said to them, I have 2 weeks. I want to serve.